What's up, guys? I'm Landon from Shoeware, and today we're taking a closer look at the Adidas Next Level Futurenatural Screaming Orange. The box, and I had to check the tag and everything, trying to make sure it was my size, because I'm so used to like going a half size up or staying true to size that I don't normally have to worry about like such a big fit on these. And I do like having room to... Alright, so before we jump into the review, let's go ahead and hit on the box and the price first. So for the box, these do come in a sky blue box with that next level print right on top in that bright orange that pretty much dominates the entire shoe. And then you can see the Futurenatural print that runs along the back, which is what this shoe features. And we actually did do a review on the Harden Volume 5 a few weeks back that kind of has the same type of setup if you want to go and check that out. And then for pricing, these are a little bit on the higher for a shoe that's like not part of a player's signature shoe line like the Dame or Harden or anything. But the Next Level 2019 retailed for $180, and then the 2020 model went all the way down to $130. But with this new setup that we're going to get into in just a minute, that's most likely the cause for this spike all the way back up to $180. But now that we've gone ahead and hit on the box and the price, let's check out the overall appearance and the design on this new shoe. All right, so before testing out the performance and the materials, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the design of this shoe. So now I have to go ahead and put this out there. Like I just briefly touched on in the box and the price, this shoe is going to be strikingly similar to the Harden Volume 5, mainly in the materials used, but it does match up in the appearance as well in some places. But this is going to be the third design to the Adidas Next Level shoe line, like I said, which of course is a shoe line that features a laceless setup. Quite simply meaning there's just no laces on this shoe. So, and there are a few features on the shoe that stick out to me once you get them on foot. So first off, I do kind of like the shark tooth looking design or pattern that they have on the tongue, and they have it on the toe of the shoe as well. That's just something that was pretty cool. And then something unique too, or maybe just kind of different, is that this kind of arch in your shin, it comes up really high in the front, but it's not nearly as high in the back, like around the heel. And then the three stripes right here in the area where the shoelaces would be typically is a very nice touch as well. And I won't lie to you guys, I really wanted these shoes on release day to test them out. And of course, since it was a new drop and they were selling out, and well, this screaming orange is the only color I could get in my size. So compared to the other two colorways that released, and of course, you know, there's going to be more to come, I don't think that this would be, I know that this would not be my ideal color scheme, to be completely honest. But overall, I do like the design on this shoe. The midsole looks a little bit bulky if they're just like sitting out or they're in the box. But you know, like most shoes, once you get them on foot, and they look a lot better in my opinion. And I really didn't do you guys or myself any favors by picking one of the brightest shoes that I've ever seen and then trying to pick apart the details and how I feel about them. But more important than the look of these shoes is kind of more of the materials and how they hold up for performance. So let's go ahead and check that out. All right, so for the last half of this review, I'm going to go ahead and hit on the materials, the comfort, and the traction all in one. So like I said, this shoe is almost control copy paste of all the materials from the Adidas Harden Volume 5. Like legitimately, they have the same lineup almost to a T. It's just that one's going to be for $130 and has laces, and then the other's going to be $180 and doesn't have laces. So it all comes down to a few different variables, like if paying an extra $50 is worth never having to tie your shoes before because you're just bad at tying them, or you just don't want to tie them. And then maybe you just don't want to support James Harden, so you want to pay the extra $50 to get this shoe, even though it's got, you know, a pretty similar setup. I don't really know. I'm just throwing out some possible motives out there, but just to make it clear that this is pretty much the same shoe with a slightly different appearance and a slightly different setup. But for those who haven't checked out our Adidas Harden Volume 5 video, I'm going to go ahead and go into the details on this Futurenatural shoe really quick. So Adidas did make some pretty major changes or even improvements to the Next Level shoe line by adding that Futurenatural process. And basically what that means is that instead of having the upper and the bottom glued together, they just use some extremely high like pressures and temperatures to just morph that and build that into one solid piece. And Adidas even did extensive research on different players' feet to, you know, to make something feel as close to the human foot as possible. And you know, this is going to be really nice because it gives you more freedom to move around in the shoe. And still expect some break-in time for these though. But for cushioning, these are going to use a full-length boost insert, kind of paired with something called Light Strike. That's going going to provide a mixture of comfort and stability, but the main purpose of that light strike is to provide some responsiveness to the shoe. And then there's also a thin boost strip in there that's not going to feel as comfortable as wearing like Ultra Boost or anything like that, so definitely don't set your expectations too high. And then similar to the Harden Volume 5s, you can see that padding in the back on the inside of the heel, but something different than the Harden 5s are going to be these orange stripes that run over the shoe area, and that's just going to actually be some fuse strips that are meant to give you some added stability and just not move around. And there's slightly more foam added to the insole near the back of the shoe to help with your foot in the shoe as well. But do be advised, this is not going to be easy to get the insole out, so attempt that at your own risk. But back to looking at the materials on this upper, although the midsole does seem to be a little bit stiff, the materials on this, like cream or off-white, just basically look at the part of the shoe that isn't covered in orange. That area actually has some pretty good like stretchiness to it. Pretty sure that's a word, but yeah, there's more give in that area than the Harden Volume 5, I felt like as well. And then the traction pattern is pretty similar, but it does hold up well for all multi-directional cuts, and it's going to be a rubber outsole, so it's going to be very durable as well. And then as far as sizing, I would recommend going maybe a half size down, because I went true to size as always, and I had plenty of room, but maybe more than I'd really like. But these do have a little bit more snug fit than the Harden Volume 5s, which I was actually a little bit surprised about, because honestly, they do look massive compared to like my everyday shoes, but overall, this is a nice shoe. Now, is it worth $50 more than the Harden Volume 5 whenever you're talking about the majority of the shoes being similar? Well, luckily, I don't have to make that decision for you. But if you do decide to pull the trigger on these, we're going to be leaving some links below in the description as to where you can buy them. All right, so that pretty much wraps up our unboxing and performance review on the Adidas Next Level Futurenatural Screaming Orange. Thank you guys for taking some time to watch. And then be sure to go ahead and click the link in our bio, and from there you're going to be able to find our shoes that are available for sale on our website. And then you can also head over to our social media to stay informed on any upcoming sneaker releases. And then last, just go ahead and feel free to leave a comment below if you liked it, or just let us know any other shoes that you want us to check out. But until next review, I'm Landon from Shoeware. Peace.